Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you and you and you. I'm an actress just starting out, and I'm having a hard time securing representation because I don't have much in my actor's access or much of anything to show off my skills. It was my goal to work with you guys, DreamReach Media, to create some kind of reel or content, but I was quoted, ching, zip, 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 big money, at the beginning of the year. Then COVID hit, and I'm not making as much money as I used to, so I'm not sure what I can do or what my options are at this point. And I was asked if I have a payment plan as well. So I want to address this email because it's not the only email that I've received like this. It's not the only call I've received like this, or text, or DM, or knock on the door. So I want to just clarify a couple of things. Obviously, not just actors. Like, not everybody has the same amount of money. And not everybody can afford to work with us. I get it. And not everybody has the patience to save up and do it, or perhaps the feeling of value that they'll get out of it. Like, not everybody thinks it's worth doing what we do for actors. And that's all a matter of perception and perspective. I can't tell you if working with us is good or bad for you. But what I can tell you is that not working with us is not good. No, I'm kidding. But here's my tip to people, like so many humans, especially in this time right now, who are financially not in a place to invest in content for themselves, mini short films like what we do, so that they may put them on their reel or go to short festivals or just have something professional done. And they haven't had the opportunity to work there yet, because there is what I call sort of the vicious cycle of entertainment, and we all go through it, where you can't get work because you don't have work to show, and you can't get repped because you don't have anything, and you can't, you sort of, so like nobody will give you a chance, so you can't showcase what you can do, and if you only got that chance, right? So of course my thing is, well, make that chance for yourself. Come, pay us, produce. Well, if that's not in the cards, that's not everything. So first of all, I would like you to go down a bit of a list of questions and really just first of all put yourself in, perspective. Make everything sort of grounded and then work up from there. Because it's not always been the case that you can come to a company like us and have scenes produced. In a sense, that's a bit of a shortcut that's come around lately. All the major actors that you know now, like, they didn't have the same opportunities, especially if they started before 2005 or 10 or whatever. It wasn't really a thing to do scenes as self-produced. So I made a video recently that talks about the fallacies of micro-budget filmmaking, and there's this triangle about time, money, and quality. And you can kind of take some elements of that and put it into any career, but like, think of your acting that way too. What we do is a bit of a shortcut, and it's not always the best thing. You have to remember this too. Sometimes, and we don't work with everybody, and sometimes we do, and there's only so much we can. I'm not in a place to tell you whether you're talented or not, or whether you're ready or not really. I can suggest, but if you want to go for it, go for it. The thing about it is, often we work with actors, or sometimes we work with actors that really aren't even ready yet to work with us. And that only becomes apparent when you're on set and you're actually working together and stuff. But that's why in our application, we sort of ask you, how long have you been doing this? And if it's just like, I'm just getting started. Well, I would ask you to be patient enough. It doesn't mean that you need to wait years and years and years now. But make sure, first of all, that you understand your abilities as an actor. Now, without going too much into branding because there's even split opinions when it comes to that. Like the old school mindset is just kind of like, audition for everything and you'll get something. I really don't subscribe to that. I'm sure somebody could make a good case for it. I think I heard Steve Carell or somebody like that talking once about him thinking that he was just going to be drama, and then he found his true, gift in comedy by pure chance. And of course, if you look like people like Leslie Nielsen, who are straight shooters, and then of course their big claim to fame was Naked Gun and all these hilarious movies. So there's something to be said about experimenting, but I personally don't subscribe to the just apply to everything, because I'm doing casting right now on a commercial endeavor, and the age range for one of the characters is 10 to 13, and I'm getting freaking grown women submitting to it. I don't get it. Some people are just out there, man, and it's I'm tagging those women thinking I'm gonna blacklist them because why are you disrespecting our time? You obviously don't even read the breakdowns. Why would I even consider giving you a chance? And why are you submitting without media or anything? Which I'm all saying this because now I'm tying it together. Submitting without media, right? So there it goes. But the reel, I don't have a reel. Well, here's one thing you can do if you don't have a reel. See what Carmen Aiello said, and I agree with, in this hour-long discussion that we have on the YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it, diggity chick it out. What is a good actor? He ended with this, so I'll save you the hour if you're not interested in hearing a casting director and a producer talk about the industry. He says it right in the end. I ask him, Carmen, what's a good actor? Or what makes a good actor? And his answer was, immediately, without thinking, if you're right for the part. Okay? So, now, maybe those branding things that I talk about will start making sense, and understanding who you are when I talk about having a strategy and knowing who you are and all that. Maybe that starts making sense when you hear answers like that from casting directors. If you're right for the part. So, what does that mean for somebody who doesn't have assets or materials? When I'm on Casting Networks or Actors Access or Casting Frontier, any one of these sort of third-party casting sites, if I'm not necessarily working with a casting director on a smaller project, or if we're casting for supporting roles, I don't even look at submissions that don't have media. Why would I? And I graze over submissions that don't have professional headshots. Not because I don't think they might not be talented, because they don't care enough about their own career to at least try. So, headshots, if you can't afford headshots, you're doing something wrong. You're drinking too much coffee, you're eating out too much, because a good headshot photographer, even if it's just one headshot that you get, anything for your main thumbnail, you should have more than that, but you should be able to muster that up and not submit with a freaking selfie. Right? Unprofessional. Just let me see one or two headshots that you actually care enough about your career to save up for a few months and drop $300, $400, $500 on a series of headshots. Okay? If you can't do that, you're not ready for the game of acting. You're not ready. So invest in that. Do that first. And it doesn't have to be crazy expensive headshots, but just look professional, okay? It's all about presenting yourself professionally and saying, "Hey, I'm in this game, or I'm trying to get into this game, right? I care enough about myself." Now, when it comes to media, videos, you don't necessarily, reels help establish credibility and show some history and show some produced work and past projects that you've been on. Show you in different settings and scenes and give you a bit of a broader understanding of, you as an actor and how you are in various scenarios. So it's oftentimes a tiebreaker, or it'll cause somebody to call you in, or it'll make an agent feel comfortable about representing you. Well, when you can't get an agent yet, you don't have enough work, okay? So one of the parts of the question here was, I don't have enough to, get representation. Well, you're not ready for representation yet. And that's okay. Not everybody is. You can't go into like a hospital residency and be like, why am I not the head surgeon yet? So you need to work your way into this. And the way you do that is by consistently and constantly pushing forward and fighting and fighting. When people say this isn't easy, guys, they mean it. They really mean it. And when they say the chances are slim, they mean it. It doesn't mean there's not a chance. It means it's freaking hard. And it's going to take you a long, consistent effort to make any sort of real damage in this industry and start moving forward. And you have to accept the fact that it might not happen at the scale that you're thinking. So you might need to just be happy with acting however and wherever you can. But here are the things that you need to keep in mind. Focus on the craft of acting. Become good. So first of all, ask yourself, am I good? My light is like shutting down. So this is I'm gonna look a little darker by the end of this. I haven't charged this light since I started doing these videos, and it's petering out. Are you good? If the answer is yes, okay, I'm talented. Yes, I can do this. All right, good. You got the chutzpah. You got the kahunas, right? To pursue this. So now pursue it. Develop your craft. Doesn't mean you need to know all the techniques necessarily. You know, there's even argument about like all these studios and acting schools and stuff, and does it really benefit an actor or not, or whatever. Again, remember, if you're right for the part, that makes a good actor. So you should practice. You should do workshops. You should do scene studies. You should read scripts. You should learn lines and regurgitate them and play with friends and record yourself and, you know, not necessarily, you know, do it in front of a mirror because you want the dynamic of acting, but you should practice the craft, right? So if you find a workshop, you can do that and do that. And then you need to have a strategy and understanding of how this industry works and who the casting directors are and what they do and how to get into the auditions and how to just represent yourself in the best way possible in relevant projects, right? So not what do they want to see, but what would you do for a project that you're relevant for. So you need to develop your understanding of yourself and your essence and your brand and what you bring and what makes you special as an actor. Okay? Are you quirky? Are you funny? Are you conniving? Are you evil? Are you witty? Are you strong? Are you no bullshit? Are you like sort of this action dude like a Vin Diesel? Or like what are you? And then bring that to relevant auditions. And if you can't get the auditions, then look at you're going to have to start with the basic way supporting roles get cast right now, which is like non-union roles and stuff. You know, don't think about the union yet. Don't think about management and acting agencies or anything like that yet. That's not relevant to you yet. Think about how can I get any kind of work right now that's relevant that'll start giving me content for my reel that's not complete BS. So you're going to have to play the numbers game a little bit if you don't have the resources to invest in yourself. So play the numbers game, and how do you do that? You look at breakdowns every single day, and you look for things that are relevant to you that you could kill, and you submit to those with media. The only thing is you take your cell phone and you make sure you take a little crash course on what good lighting and good production is, and you make your best effort not to produce a scene, but to showcase yourself in an endearing way and in an attractive way to the casting director who's casting for that project. So I would, rather than seeing a poorly executed demo reel, which is obviously produced by some kid who has no idea about filmmaking, writing, directing, or editing, and it's supposed to look like some sort of scene out of a credit card feature from, Nebraska somewhere, and not that the Nebraskan filmmakers are bad, I'm just saying, unprofessional. Rather than seeing that and being given this feeling like, ooh, this person is like not investing enough to do something professional, but still trying to fool me into thinking they have experience, like that doesn't work. Go all in or go all out. Going all out meaning you don't have the resources, lean into that. Make a nice little cell phone video of yourself saying, hey, Miss Casting Director, I love this project. It seems so cool. This character resonates with me. I really think that I could bring something awesome to this. Here's what I would do if there are sides posted. Do a self-tape in a sense without even them asking you. Just give them a good understanding of you as a character, as a person. Show that inner, that brand, that essence that you have that might make them think, oh, you know what? This is a new actor. But this is also a fairly small project, and we're all kind of new filmmakers, and you know what? This might work. She's actually kind of cool and seems really talented. And we should at least bring her in for an audition, right? If you don't have the materials to impress by showing effort and respect to the project. Submit things that are courteous, professional in the sense that they're well lit, they sound good. Don't go outside, stand next to a busy street, and record yourself with your cell phone in like 5 minutes. Like, when you sit down and take the time to record something, make it seem like you sat down and took the time to record it and you gave it thought and effort and care. And if you do that for every single submission, and it's like a custom video that you're sending people, and it's like, hey, I know I don't have a reel. I'm sorry, I don't have a reel. I can't break this vicious cycle, but I'm talented. I think this role is perfect for me because, don't go too much into detail, but then just show them a little bit of what you can do. And just be light about it, be fun about it, and be a good person, and be somebody that they might want to just know as a person. Things are going to start moving. You're not going to get an agent or a manager yet. They don't have enough to market you yet, but you can market yourself. When when you can't catch a break, give yourself a break. And then always be pursuing opportunities to produce content with your friends, rally up a few bucks, shoot something, small, a video that you can submit to a short film festival, anything at all. Or just, even better than doing that, because that might, the outcome is sort of, it has to be good. That's the bottom line. Like, it has to be good. My light's almost completely gone. Save the money over time. And then once you've practiced enough and you've gotten good at your understanding of yourself, at your craft, and you've done maybe some community theater, and you've done some, you've gone on commercial auditions, which is great because you don't really need a huge reel for commercial auditions. It's all about your look and, what you can deliver. So go and hustle up commercial auditions, get some work, and just keep moving forward. Keep trying to find opportunities to get on as a scene partner in somebody else's reel, or as a not background, because you want to have things that sort of move you forward. You want to have lines if possible, but just create opportunities for yourself and save up and invest when you're ready, but also don't invest too soon. Okay, so I hope this helps. I mean, I'm a little bit all over the place here, but the reality is that there's not a single one way to do it. It's just that when you don't have the financial means, you need to get creative with it, and it's going to take a little bit more time. But if you're not a quality actor yet in terms of your understanding of yourself and your talents and your confidence and what you can bring, then getting the audition's not going to do you much good, because you're not going to get the gig. You have to be confident, and you have to know what you're doing first so that you can even handle yourself in this industry. So it's a long road, and be okay with that and enjoy the journey. You're on a mission. Look at it as the Odyssey, right? You have this goal, not the Odyssey. Don't look at it as the Odyssey, because all he ever wanted to do was get back home to his kid and wife. But look at it as a journey of discovery. And every day that passes, you should improve yourself as an actor and do another thing that's going to make you stronger and better. And just enjoy the fact that you're developing your craft, and give yourself the time to do it. Don't be angry, don't be jealous, don't be mad, and don't cripple yourself by doubting yourself. If it takes a year, it takes a year. If it takes 15 years, it takes 15 years. but you're going to do it and you're going to keep moving forward. And that's the meaning of commitment. So if you've committed to it, then you're an actor, and now it's a matter of finding your place. If you haven't committed to it, then maybe you shouldn't commit at all. And if you think you can do this in your sort of like free time without investing in yourself and being cheap about it, not just financially, but also with the time and effort that you give yourself, you think you're going to read like one book on acting, never practice, never look for workshops, never try and network or anything like that, well then, it's going to remain a hobby. So, and that's okay too, but just know who you are so you don't disappoint yourself. So I hope that helps a little bit. I know it was a bit all over the place. I'll see you on the next one.